Alrighty, everybody. So, World of Warcraft, Dragonfly, and all of the news that got released today, we're going to be going over during tonight's live stream. We're not going to play World of Warcraft tonight. I will be getting back into the game tomorrow, so stay tuned. I'm just going to go ahead and utilize tonight's live stream, just go ahead and react and see everything that got announced today. I have not looked at MMO Champ, and I have not looked at Wowhead. So, I have not looked at any fan sites, and the only websites I've looked at are YouTube, in regards to Battle.net, and of course World of Warcraft's main website through Battle.net. Look through the news feeds and look through the forum pages and put a couple of tabs together to go ahead and react to you guys everything that got announced today. So starting off with Dragonfly.blizzard.com, which is the official website for the new expansion that got released today. Everybody knew it was going to be about dragons and Dragonflight, and what a coincidence, because I've been recently doing, before we get into even more details, a major coincidence because of what we've been doing. I've been doing my Wrath of the Lich King transmog runs lately. I started them like 3 weeks ago. And we got so the Malagos fight. How freaking fun is that? That you're on freaking drakes, you're on dragons, just being able to do those types of fights. And we haven't gotten a fight like that in forever. So we're definitely going to be getting some freaking cool-ass fights coming in for raids with Dragonfly. And I hope they bring it back, to be honest with you. Some of those old dragons from back in the day, I'm pretty sure they will. We could already see Alex Straza here, of course, which is one of the mains in World of Warcraft. But before we get into that, we're not even going to talk about what I think. We're going to get into everything that they've announced today. But one more thing, like I said, I've been doing my Wrath of the Lich King transmogs. They've also announced Classic Wrath coming soon, which we'll be getting into later as well. So, World of Warcraft's Dragonflight expansion website. As you can see, this is also where you can beta opt in. You can opt into the beta. Hopefully I can get into it. I've fucking been playing this game for so long. I've been in Kata beta. I've been in Mr. Pandaria beta. I've been in Warlords of Draenor beta. I've been in Legion beta. Battle for Azeroth I did not get in. Oh, I got in but too late, so I didn't even bother with it. And then Shadowlands I didn't even get in. That fucking pissed me off. So yeah, Dragonfly, please invite your boy. I would love to play the games. So yeah, as you can see here. Oh, also this website's laggy as hell. I'm gonna go onto here. Look how nice and easy this scrolls. This thing, bro, it's freaking laggy. I don't know why. But yeah, as you can see, the art in the background looks absolutely phenomenal. Looks absolutely fantastic for World of Warcraft. This is a definite high tier game when it comes to. Yes, the story has drifted off into absolute abyss, but the story in the game is still top tier compared to most video games out there. Especially because this has been going on for 16, 17 years. the MMO, the actual franchise, way beyond. So yeah, you can opt into the beta on this website. And then of course you got the story overview. Discover the Dragon Isles. The Dragonflights of Azeroth have returned, called upon to defend their ancestral home, the Dragon Isles. Surging with the elemental magic and the life energies of Azeroth, the Isles are awakening once more. And it's up to you to explore their primordial wonder and discover long-forgotten secrets. This is a cinematic video that we will be watching later on YouTube, so do not worry about that right now. New playable race and class. The Drakthir and the Evoker. So the Drakthir's a new race, and the Evoker is the new class. This is something they were like destined and needing to do in this expansion to kind of win back some of the player base. Is one, release a new race. Haven't had a freaking new race in God knows when. Allied races don't count. So we haven't had a new playable race in hella long. And then the classes, bro, besides Death Knights, Demon Hunters, we haven't had an actual true class in forever. Now, this is probably going to be a champion class, like Death Knights and Demon Hunters, but we don't know yet. We'll find out. So, dominate the Dragon Isles as a newly awakened Drakthir Evoker. World of Warcraft's first ever playable racing class combo. So as you can see, in order to be an Evoker, you gotta be a Drakthir, and in order to be a Drakthir, you gotta be an Evoker. So, class race combo, again, very similar. Champion race, or champion race now, but champion class similar to Demon Hunters and Death Knights. However, Death Knights are playable through all races, so the race wasn't important, but the class was actually champion. And then Demon Hunters only two races, but the class is champion based. Now this is even taking it to a further step. So instead of unlimited races, instead of 2 races, we now got 1. So Draconic Heritage, Dracthyr evokers freely switch between 2 customizable forms, choosing between a humanoid visage and a fearsome draconic form to battle foes and overcome obstacles. So as you can see, we got the draconic forms themselves and of course the human variations. These are technically humanoid dragons, very similar to Ashara and her kind. So these ones, basing them off of the main dragon aspects, I don't like. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. There's something about them. It's the posture. The dragon kinds are okay, but the draconics are okay, but the humanoid versions of them, the posture just seems like it's been rehashed and reused and quickly done to go ahead and quickly get this out for us. I hope it's not like this. It's like they've mixed a couple of races and just basically thrown it out there. I definitely dislike the armor they have. They could have used something a lot cooler, but I'm not gonna hate on it. This again just announced today. Things are definitely gonna change. I do love the idea of the Dracthyr evokers. Again, a new race and a new class. I would definitely be playing it, so nothing there. But the Draconic Heritage, as you can see, that is basically pretty much Worgen. A Worgen racial. So I'm assuming it's exactly like that. You get to choose which one you want to be with. So, choose your allegiance. Dracthyr evokers seek to forge their own path in Azeroth and willingly fight for the Horde of the Alliance. So, the Dracthyr evokers, basically pandas. So, how pandas, you can play that, and then once you finish that campaign, you get to choose Horde or Alliance. That's basically the exact same thing that's going to happen with these guys. So, get to choose your allegiance there. Intro experience. Delve into the story of the Dracthyr in a brand new starting experience and learn how to use your new abilities before venturing forth. So again, the Dracthyr, the race, gets its own intro campaign, and then the class itself, utilizing that intro campaign, you get to learn how the class is played. Specializations. Dracthyr evokers can fight from mid-range with claws and fiery breath attacks, devastation, which is, I'm assuming that, Devastation's the name of that spec. Or draw upon the life-giving magic of renewal or bolster their allies. Preservation. So I'm assuming Devastation's a melee, mid-range type of spec, while Preservation seems to be of a support type spec, which would be freaking... Let's go. I'm going to click this video really quick. Okay, so this is a video that I have not seen yet, and it is not a YouTube-based video, so we might see this in YouTube later on, but for right now, let's freaking watch this. So we get to see what is the spec called again? Sorry? We get to see the Devastation, which is the DPS-based spec, or the Preservation, which is the support-looking spec. So this is Devastation, I'm assuming. A little bit of fire-breathing, claw action, a little mid-range. Okay, so they have some range to it. Not fully ranged spells, but they get some. So it's kind of a mixture of a ranged and a melee DPS, which is where mid-range comes from. However, I'm assuming the only little bit of information we got there, again, so this is the DPS capabilities. We didn't get too much from the healing perspective. That is the claws doing their attacks as well. So this is the only healing. So it is a healing type perspective. It's a support role. So that's actually really cool. I'm happy about that. I will definitely be playing Preservation, but Devastation, of course, to level up. That's very, very cool. So it is another class that has 2 specs. To be honest with you, they should have gone with 3. But based off of aspects and based off of dragons, they are usually not tanks. Just saying. Empowered abilities. Drac Theory Evokers can empower their draconic abilities through magic, charge up your attacks, and unleash them right at the moments to maximize their effect. So they've got a little bit of a empowered bar that will be able to basically empower their abilities. Kind of, I'm assuming how combo points for rogues go. Of course, combo points with feral druids, but these guys got kind of like a magical bar. Which is basically going to empower their abilities as well, which is kind of cool, and that's kind of unique, and I can't hate on it until we get to see it in action, so I'm loving it so far. Next up, we got a new feature, Become a Dragon Rider. This is what's fucking burning this webpage. Master the Art of Dragon Riding, a new form of aerial movement. Explore the land to obtain 4 new Dragon Owl Drakes, unique customizable mounts that can be truly made your own with millions of possible combinations to choose from. No 2 Drakes are the same. I got 2. Okay, so I hate this form with the Drakes. It reminds me of all the Maldraxxus things. So this is basically a Maldraxxus bat mount compared to a Drake and put them together. But as you can see, this is we got 4 examples. Just go ahead and see these things in action. And also, we will be watching a video that shows the flying from these in action as well, because it's not just simply flying with a customizable Drake. You actually get to do some cool things with them. So this is one form. This is a second form, which that feels... So this first one, it's a Drake combined with the Maldraxxus vibes. The second one is a Drake combined with like Zandalari shitty flying mount vibes. And then you got this green one, which is a Drake combined with a freaking Cloud Serpent. So far, I don't like any of these Drakes at all. But I'm assuming this is the best one by far. This is just a simple Drake with a big freaking head. Let's go. It's winning. Lizard Boy here is winning. I like the simplicity of it. So this would be my favorite one. I'm just too freaking used to it. I've been playing Maldraxxus for like the whole through Shadowlands, so I don't use these mounts anymore because of how annoyed I am of them. I get bored. It's like listening to the same song over and over again. You loved it, but now it's like, bro, Despacito, get the Despa out of here. This dude, hate it. I hated Battle for Azeroth Zandalari mounts, and then this is Cloud Serpents. I don't hate it. It's just I don't like the color on that one. And then this one, simple. Can't hate. So again, dragon riding gameplay. So mastering the skies. Use the new riding abilities to keep yourself and your Drake in the air, but beware, the denizens of the Dragon Isles will knock out inexperienced Dragon Riders right out of the sky. So special moves. So I'm assuming we're going to have a little bit of a flight variation of combat in this, which is going to be very cool. Again, like I said, from the Eye raid from Wrath of the Lich King. That was definitely some fun stuff. So special moves. As you grow in skill, you and your Drake will master new maneuvers, fight against exhaustion and pull of the earth, and soar above the Dragon Isles. Talented Rider, continue to improve your dragon riding skills at max level by hunting down ancient glyphs and advancing your new dragon riding skill tree. So the dragon riding or the flying in this expansion is going to have its own skill tree, so I'm assuming we're going to get flying right away and be able to increase our abilities with it. More customization. Once you reach maximum level, you can conquer additional challenges all over the Dragon Isles to unlock even more customization options for your Drakes, which is cool as well. A new continent, the Dragon Isles itself. The Dragon Isles are the ancestral home of the Dragonflights of Azeroth. When your world was broke apart in the Great Sundering, magic drained away from the land went dormant. As the Dragon Isles awaken, so too do old feuds and long dormant threats. The Waked Shores, an invitation of Alexstrasza. This is one of the areas. Heroes of the Horde and Alliance arrive in the aid of Red Dragonflight in this vibrant, roiling land. Here, Rathian, oh, he's back, bro. I don't go away, bro. Will call upon Azeroth's champions to help him reclaim the Black Dragonflight Citadel from enemy hands. This dude's everywhere. He has to be in it, though. And we got Oneron Plains. These verdant grasslands are home to the mighty Moruk Centaur tribes, who long ago forged a bond with the Green Dragonfly, but since the death of Ysetta, the Green Dragons face an uncertain future. So, first one, got the Red Dragonfly, second one, the Green Dragonfly. Got the Azure Span, holding the magical archive to the Blue Dragonfly. We're also going to help them as well. The Azure Span stretches from coastal Tuskar villages, through a sprawling forest tundra, all the way to the looming spires of the ice and snow, tribes of gnolls and furbolgs. So we're going to be seeing a lot of old vibes, a lot of old creatures, which is going to be cool. Instead of seeing all these things from random places that just really don't exist in this world, man. We're going back to Azeroth tribes. Thaldraszus. The seat of power and aspects of the flights, Thaldraszus stands as the shining beacon of the Dragon's Kingdom. It's also here that the Bronze Dragonflight watches over the timeways, ensuring both the past and future of Azeroth remain secure. So we're going to be helping the Bronze Dragonflight as well. And last but not least, the Forbidden Reach, located off the coast of the Dragon Isles. Forbidden Reach was fashioned by an Eltharion, the Earth Warder, to serve as a training ground for his ultimate soldiers, the Drakthir. But in the aftermath of the terrible battle, the island has lain dormant and abandoned for ages until the return of the ancient enemy causes the Drakthir to stir. So pretty cool, very simple. Dragon riding overview, rider dive. So this is kind of what I was talking about. We already get to see the video in the background. Dive down and gain momentum as you rapidly descend, then unfurl your Drake's wings and use the Dragonflight skill to stay afloat. Take in your surroundings as you look at the perfect landing spot or surprise your foes with death from above. So you get to do a little bit more capabilities when you are flying. See, this Drake looks freaking cool. This one looks cool. But you get to nosedive straight down for faster speeds, faster descending speeds to go ahead and swoop on your enemies. So yeah, that looks really, really cool. Gameplay updates, discover new ways to play, which we will be going over a little bit later. Dragonflight brings sufficient updates to existing game systems, experience the largest talent system revamp yet, heads-up display improvements, along with a whole new crafting and profession system, and find new ways to adventure across Azeroth. Now, I'm very positive these are in... Yes, they are. So they're in the tab that I already have open. So again, Professions in Crafting, the new HUD interface, as well as the new talent system we'll be going over in just a little bit. Additional features, new level cap of course, ascend to new heights of power as you explore the Dragon Isles, earning new talents every step of the way to level 70. So they're bringing back talents to the talent tree. Let's freaking go. Got the new raid. Venture into the ancient prison of the primal incarnates before their malevolent power can be unleashed against the dragon aspects, and of course the new dungeons as well. Fight to reclaim Neltharis, stronghold of the Black Dragonflight. Explore previously unknown chambers of the Uldaman. Defend the life pools of the Red Dragonflight, and more. And of course, you got a little bit of a media gallery. These are cinematic stills. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can view all. Perfect. So we got some cinematic stills. Might as well just go ahead and look at these pictures as well. Very, very cool. Unique. One thing that of course, that we're going to see in the cinematic. It's probably in the opening, I believe. What we're going to see very, very cool about this is, one, as you guys know, World of Warcraft brings fantastic art. Two, hopefully the story gets a little bit better with this expansion, because again, as many people have been disliking the story as of late. And another thing that I'm going to enjoy about this so far from reading what we've just seen on this part of the website is old tribes are coming back for us to go ahead and fight against, like freaking gnolls and stuff. Like, come on now, let's freaking go. But yeah, very, very cool. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to go ahead and watch the freaking video clip that everybody was able to see earlier this morning. But next up, we're going to go ahead and go into the World of Warcraft news feed, which basically gives us an overall in-depth view of what was shown in the video. But again, beta and game updates. So opt in for a chance to beta test Dragonflight before it's released. I also receive news and latest updates about the game. I've already beta opted in, but might as well click it again, right? Yeah, thanks for signing up. So, that done. Now we've got World of Warcraft Dragonflight Deep Dive. So this is the deep dive. This is basically everything put together from what was shown this morning. We're not going to watch any of the videos yet. We will watch those towards the end. We'll probably just watch the full thing anyways. So yeah. So join a full panel of World of Warcraft developers in this deep dive as they take you into the Dragon Isles and share insights about the new lands to explore, the creatures you'll meet, and take you deeper into the various systems and changes that will come with the expansion. So I'm going to go ahead and read all of this because I haven't seen it yet and I would like to go ahead and do so. Again, this is the expansion reveal cinematic, and I'm not going to go ahead and watch that just yet. If it is something that we've already gone over on the main website, I will go ahead and skip through that. But weave into story. So this is basically kind of the in-depth story of what this expansion is about. So once the broodlands of the Dragonflights, the Dragon Isles, was once the center of the Dragon's kingdom, when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. When the Legion invaded in the War of the Ancients and the Great Sundering broke the world, draining much of the magic of the land, the dragons were forced to leave their homeland behind, but they didn't leave it without the Watchers to stand in wait, ready to call back the flights when the elemental energy resurged, and the dragons could be drawn home to reestablish their kingdom. The time has come for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alexstrasza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some old threats have awakened as well. Why did they leave? I'm assuming this place didn't fucking exist, and they just came up with it for story purposes. But why did they leave? Why not? Okay, yeah, you were forced to leave, but what took so long to go back? Why? It makes no sense. If you want it, then go get it. You're the freaking dragon aspects. The dragons we know of today are quite different than the early past of Azeroth. They were more primitive, much more savage, what we know now as the proto-dragons. In more recent history, the dragons we know were empowered to become the aspects: the green dragonflight, red dragonflight, blue dragonflight, brown dragonflight, and black dragonflight, each with unique powers and abilities to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic powers were appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without. Powers was used for good in the case of most of the aspects, but also for the more nefarious reasons in the case of the black dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would later become Deathwing. An opportunity to reclaim their legacy and return once more as the protectors of Azeroth lays before the dragons. But they'll need the help of the heroes of Azeroth to face the challenges of this reawakening. The land has not been peacefully awaiting their return. Old enemies have awakened, as well as alright, let's do this. There we go. That's probably better. Old enemies have awakened as well, and will need to be confronted and overcome if the flights are to make it their home once more. One of those old foes they will have to overcome are elemental half-giants, the Jaradin. They aren't the only residents of the Dragon Isles, however, and there are many more occupants to get to know along your explorations. You'll encounter the beloved Tuskar, as well as get to know the civilization of the Centaurs, which predates those who have come to know in Kalimdor. We'll also get to reconnect with Rathian and see if he is ready to step into the leadership role as the leader of the Black Dragonflight, or if there's another path for him. We'll also meet up with Kalatgos, Ebonhorn, and Ysera's daughter, Merithra, to see where the return of the Dragon Isles takes them. A new playable race will be available, the Drakthir. Drakthir were an experiment created by Neltharion with the essence of the dragons and embed their strength, nobility, wisdom, and adaptability to become the perfect soldiers. Exploration is a key theme for the expansion, and players will be able to adventure in this ancient land and explore the landscapes and its architectural history. We've created huge zones with many places to delve into, with many old treasures and secrets tucked away. The heroes of Azeroth will work alongside the Reliquary of the Explorers League to help the Dragonflights, to help them find their legacy, as they have long helped the residents of Azeroth. It's a true Azerothian adventure waiting to be had and explored. It sounds good. So, we'll see. Sounds good. That's the basics. Basic things. Explore the Dragon Isles. Players will have the opportunity to traverse and explore 4 new zones as they aided the Dragonflights in rediscovering their ancient lands. As you progress, you'll make your way through the Wakey Shores, roiling with elemental power. the vast expanse of the Onaran Plains, the frosty peaks of the Azure Span, and the majestic spires of temples of Thaldrassus. Your travels will begin in Stormwind and Orgrimmar as you journey by boat past the ancient ruins of the Isles and land on the Waking Shores. So, get a little bit of a view of the Waking Shores themselves. So, we're definitely going to be having some places high. Going to be a lot of up and down. And of course, because we can also fly, I'm assuming, going to be expansive freaking exploration areas. So we're going to have a lot of places where we won't, if we don't have flying right away, we definitely won't be able to see probably 80% of this freaking place. There'll be a lot of freaking area to explore, and it's going to be a lot of things that are on like top of mountains and all that type of stuff because of the dragon aspects. So, the Waking Shores is the first of the 4 level-up zones players will encounter. It's a wild, untamed land that has begun to reawaken. Proto-dragons soar through the sky elementals are rising as the magic of the land does, and the land is life with opportunities. The Horde and the Alliance have been engaged in an expedition with the Explorers League. Oh, those fucking cunts are back. The Reliquary as they join with you to learn more about what the mysterious lands have to offer. Well, I can't hate them, but Hearthstone's made me hate those guys. Here you'll learn more about the Red Dragonfly led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, aka Miss Thick, with 3 C's. They have a mandate to nurture all life, and it's a duty they take seriously. But it's not without its challenges, especially when it means finding ways to preserve the lives of their enemies. The Jarradine, while still preventing those same enemies from adversely affecting the ecology of the land. These half-giants wield the power of magma, and while the Dragon Isles slumbered, so did they. But, like the land, they have also awakened and are primed to create chaos anew. It is also the ancestral home of the Black Dragonfly, which has fallen on tough times since Deathling's descent. Rathian is joining Azeroth's heroes as he comes in terms with the state of the Dragonfly, which is in a diminished state. There it is. So there's another surprise to find here as well. Ducks. At long last, you'll get to observe them in their natural habitat as they take flight in the very skies which the greatest of creatures are bound to soar. So you got like some sort of dragonflight ducks. These ain't ducks. I mean, the baby ones look like ducks, but the adult ones ain't ducks. Alright, so now we got Onaran Plains. Looking, ooh. Looks like those pillars look like they have faces on them. Yeah, that's kind of cool vibes there. Green and lush. After the Waking Shores, players will venture into the wide open expanse of the Onaran Plains. The area is named for the wild god of the wind, Onaran. Ohuara. Onara. Let's go with that. So, Onaran is named after Onara, who has appeared before as a large spirit eagle who helped guide the centaurs to the Dragon Isles many years before. She blessed them and took the caravan across to the Isles and showed them the plains where they could make their new home. The centaur encountered the green dragonfly here and would fight for dominance. Why? Why not just make it a home for both? Only to find that neither they nor the green dragonfly was stronger than the other. And so they made peace with one another. The green dragonfly made their home in the groves while the centaur took over the plains. But after thousands of years, the centaur have advanced in their culture, and players will have the opportunity to explore and learn more about them. These centaur originated as one strong clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, who helped found their new life in the Onaran Plains all those years ago. And so you'll need to learn their rules and traditions if you want to earn their trust and cross the plains. Okay, so we're going to work with them. Makes sense, kind of. I thought they were the bad guys. As the first outsiders to visit in generations, it will take some doing. First encounter will have you coming to their aid to take down one of the many proto-dragons that is harassing them. With such a large expanse of land to see, The engineers have also made additional improvements to allow players to see even further so that you can fully enjoy the beauty of written rich landscape. So, we'll be able to see farther distances in this game now. Good to know. As you span. I wanted to see the snow. The snowy peaks, but this is what they give us. Sad vibes. Our third zone takes us to the Azure Span, one of the biggest zones created to date in World of Warcraft. It offers the largest visual elevation change the zone players will explore through. It is inspired by one of the favorite zones in Wrath of the Lich Queen, Grizzly Hills, along with the California Bay Area, with the coastal fogs and redwoods, though there's more than just redwoods to be found in the zone. That's kind of cool. Are we going to get the Grizzly Hills background music? The banger. The freaking banger. The Grizzly Hills has probably the best zone music of all times. As players progress through the zone, they'll eventually come upon a wide open tundra, alight with golds and reds until you reach the next level of elevation, where you'll get to see the snow. The majority of the zone is covered in snow and ice, with giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers, and more. It's here you'll encounter the gnolls, who will have made the forests of the Azure Span their home, and beyond that, in the wide open tundra, the Tuscan. We've met them before in Wrath of the Lich King, and here we've expanded upon the beloved group with male, female, and adorable child Tuscarora. We'll aid the Tuscarora alongside the Blue Dragonfly. We'll follow the story of Calicos as he ventures into Sindragos's archives. It's a giant zone, and there's a lot more surprises that we'll have to absorb before you move into the fourth zone, Thalgissus. So, very cool. A lot to do in this zone. We get to fight Gnolls again. Love those guys. Love taking them on. Get to see some old races. And then, get the Tuscarora. Get to help them. We didn't get to do too much with them in Wrath of the Lich King, but get to see him again. Next zone, Thalgissus. So, very temple-like, very temple feeling. Feels prosperous in this zone. That's the word I'm going to use for it. After spending time seeing the many dragons building ruins in the previous three zones, Thalgissus offers something more pristine with beautifully intact buildings in the seat of power for all 5 dragonflights and home to the dragons. Vertical lofty mountains and great cave systems with maybe a small dragon horde or two to be found along the way create a compelling new land to explore. It's also here that the Bronze Dragonflight has their own area carved out. The power over time lends itself to a variety of gameplay options and adventures for players to undertake. Players will also reach the main city hub of the expansion here, Valdrekin. This city is the culmination of the dragon's efforts and provides several vignettes to enjoy from the Blue Dragonflight's public library to the Red and Green Dragonflight's own separate garden. So I'm assuming this is where the major city is going to take place. So that's kind of cool as well. And I think that's what it looks like just right there in that picture. City will serve as a convenient hub for activity and will include access to the auction house for those looking to gain access to purchase a variety of goods. You'll also be able to find the tier hold here in Thalgissus, built by the Titan Keeper tier. This 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel houses great aqueducts and reaches across the valley. It was here who helped the Aspects fight Galakron, and when they came to settle in the Dragon Isles, it was he who built this facility. Even though Tyr is long gone, the dragons still hold him in reverence. The Titan Keepers have continued to maintain Tyr hold while the Dragonflights have gone on to take part in the incredible amount of history as the defenders of Azeroth. So, I don't really think Tyr's gone. There's no way. If you know, you know. Tristfall Glades, Tyr Tings. If you know, you know. He ain't gone. He ain't gone. He's coming back eventually. I believe in it. Just you wait. Clip this, post it, and you know. I'll see you when he comes back. Fights have nearly been wiped out. There have been invasions and betrayals, and even some aspects have died. These are all the things that have left marks on the society, but now the Dragonflights have come back together in this place. It's a story that will be played out through the Dragon Isles and its many mysteries discovered over time. Meet the Dracthyr Evoker. So this is the new race class combo. Dragonfly introduces a new race and class in one known as the Dracthyr Evoker, allowing players to play a dragon, one that can still fit in a raid without crushing your allies. This hero class begins at level 58 and will have its own starting zone. Players will be able to choose their alignment with the Horde Alliance at character creation, and will be able to take long advantage of a slew of new customization that allow them to match their dragon's form closely with their humanoid visage. So again, I like the dragon parts, but the freaking humanoids they make them more humanoid based. I don't like it. I don't like the humanoids. I like the dragons. The humanoids, no. The dragons are cool. The humanoids, no. I do like the hair on the bottom ones. That's kind of cool. But we'll see. I mean, there's not much to go off of. We'll see how it is. Dracthyr Evokers, created by an Arthurian to wield the magic of all 5 dragon flights, providing a very distinctive style of spellcasting. You'll be able to see the coalescence of these powers each time you cast. Evokers will have 2 distinctive specializations. Take the advantage of these magic types. Devastation is a DPS focused spec that utilizes the fast explosive power of the red dragonfly and the more focused and overwhelming magic of the blue dragonfly. So Preservation serves as a healing spec and utilizes the healing power of the green dragonfly and its more nurturing spells, while using the power of the bronze dragonfly to manipulate time to accomplish feats such as healing wounds faster. So that's very, very cool. So a little mixture for the healing, for the support spec of the green and the bronze dragonfly, and the DPS for devastation spec. You get to use the red and the blue dragonfly, which makes total sense. So that's very, very cool. Introducing a new type of spell called Empower. Players will be able to hold down a button on their keyboard to power up a spell. The longer you charge the spell, the more damage it could do, or the more targets the spell could hit. So that's kind of cool as well. Taking to dragon riding. As players, so this is kind of the new dragon riding thing that we spoke about earlier. As players make their way through each of the areas of Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. They'll learn a dragon riding skill which they can level up over time. Unlike what players know of flying, you'll instead hone your dragon riding abilities and learn to defy gravity while using your momentum and skills to soar through the higher heights and explore the isles. So I'm assuming we're going to get dragon riding or flying rather quickly. Players will also be able to customize their new Drake mounts with a variety of new options, including snout, horns, tails, armor, and more. So this looks a lot cooler, this one that we see here, than what we saw on the actual website. I'm looking forward to this. I'm assuming this is a way for them to not have to put flying time-gated, be able to get into it right away, but we'll be able to do all the customizations and cool stuff as time-gated while we level up our writing skill. So that's kind of cool. System updates, HUD and UI. I didn't know about this. It's been some time since we updated our UI and technology because I used the standard UI. Has advanced since we first developed it in 2004. Players now have larger monitors, and the development team has better tools to look at revamping the UI to accommodate the times. With the update in Dragonfly, we wanted to create a layout that would allow players to customize and move elements of the UI around their screen to better fit their needs. We recognize that add-ons today provide many opportunities for players to customize the experience, but not all players use them. I'm one of those. I've tried to use them, LVUI and all of them. I just don't like them, and then they get too complicated, and then sometimes the major bugs happen and fucks up the whole UI. Oh, it's just a stress, and I've gotten so accustomed to the regular Blizzard user interface. I love it. With the help of the user research team, we're working to meet the goals the community needs to add those elements to the base UI. This allows us to add new functionality, improve accessibility, and make aesthetic updates to the art. So it's very, very cool that we'll be able to move things around, which is kind of nice, but that's very nice. So the chat box is very similar on the bottom left, but again, we can probably move things, but I will most likely keep things how it looks like on this screen. On the bottom right, we got the standard user interface, and it's a lot more sleek. It's a lot smaller, and it's got its transparency, which kind of basically removes it, similar to the chat box, to where we get to actually visualize the beautiful art of the game. The map looks cool. I really love the map. love that. And of course, the user interface itself in the middle, with all the spells and the tooltips and the freaking what do you call them? The keybind slots. Yeah. I only see. So where would we see the others though? Because I have the rows on the bottom and the rows on the right side. I'm assuming they're still going to be there, but just not in this picture. A key component to the changes is maintaining the charm and personality of the UI that players have been using for the past 18 years while still presenting a more modern take. You'll see with these changes that minimap and health bar appear larger. We've removed some of the clutter to provide more visibility to gameplay as well. Part of the maintaining the charm of the design, we've also taken the time to update the griffins and wyverns in the action bar at the bottom right of the screen. Kinda cool. Yay! Not only will you be able to move various elements in the HUD around the screen, but each component has various sets of options you'll be able to work with. You'll be able to save, edit, copy, and name it, and remember the spec you're in, so when you switch between that, oh my gosh, this is what I've been asking forever, bro. Because some specs you have fucking totally different shits. So instead of using the same shits, you can get to save them, and they switch. As with anything in development, it's still a work in progress. We look forward to getting the feedback to the community as they play the experience these changes some more. That's the best thing I've seen so far. That's the best thing I've seen so far. I love it. Something so simple. Now this is what everybody's been waiting for. Talent updates. Another UI intensive project been working on is an updated talent system. Wanted to look at it once more and find ways to provide players with more choice in shaping the character's abilities. Currently, as you level up, you receive new spells and skills, but that progression ordering is entirely predetermined. So, we started looking to create a system that would provide players with a wider set of options. One of these ideas that we returned to was that of trees. In this case, it's actually two trees. One tree focuses on class utility, while the other focuses on specializations and the expression of your role, whether it's doing damage, tanking, or healing. We want choosing your spec to be important, and want it to be, make sure you choose it. It affects the tree in some way. Oh, this is going to be sick. When you look at the new tree, you'll notice the class side will have some abilities filled out for free to get you started off in the spec you've chosen, but then you'll have to have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to the spec, or it could be something related elsewhere in the class. Wanted to make sure that the new system allows players to take combinations of spells and abilities that may not have been possible in the game before. This opportunity also allows it to inject more art and fantasy into the actual talent UI itself. Oh, fuck yes. As you guys know, I'm very me and stubborn with how I play. I do not look at guides. I play how I want to play, and I excel at how I play. And yes, I do unique shit. I do things. People get pissed off at me when I release my guides. Like, bro, this is how you're supposed to play. This is how you're supposed to play. You're supposed to choose this. You're supposed to go 1-1-2, 1-1-3, 1. Piss off. Suck my balls. I do more DPS than you playing the shittiest spec you've ever seen. Talents that don't even make sense together. I'd be beating you on the DPS charts, bro. Why? Because 1, I love the playstyle of what I picked. 2, the fantasy fits the shit. And 3, just better than you, bro. So stop hating. Alright, this is kind of cool though. I'm looking forward to this. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking lit! Alright, where the fuck was I? Alright, here we go. We want players to be able to tinker with the trees and make a lot of changes while not necessarily feeling like you must fully commit. The power really is coming back to the players. It's not something we want people to feel locked into. And so on. One of the things we'll be preserving is the ability to change talents at the same kind of frequency as they do now. Players should easily be able to go from their raid night to playing arena matches by taking advantage of new features that allow them to save and load their build. They'll be able to name it, save it. That's fucking sick. Fuck dual spec. Remember dual spec days? We got specs with 50 S's at the end. Talents really are about having a breadth of options and wanting to give players the ability to hold the building blocks of what makes the class is, oh, fuck, I can do the troll spec, I can do the PvP spec, I can do the arena spec, the PvP BG spec, the raiding spec, the I don't give a fuck spec, the for the win Itachi is so much cooler than you spec. I don't know, we making specs up in this B, and I'm loving it. So this is another good thing. This is only a first preview of what we've been working on. We're looking forward to hearing more than that. So again, HUD and UI updates, thumbs up. Talent updates, thumbs up. What else have we gotten? Dragon writing, thumbs up. Sure, why not? There's nothing to hate. Meet the Drac Theory Evoker, so the new race class. I'm gonna put so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different ways I can do my thumb. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side means I don't give a shit. Mid thumb up, mid thumb down. I'm gonna give this one a mid thumb up because I'm happy that we got a freaking new class and spec, but I'm not fully sold on it yet. Just sell me this beat. The zones, mid thumbs up. I don't know if I can know anything about the zones yet besides what they said. And then, of course, the story itself. I mean, we already knew about the dragon fight, so I'll give it a mid thumbs. It was already spoiled, so blame the spoilers on that one. So far, so good. No thumbs down. No mid thumb down either. Profession revamp. Ooh. Let's see what we got here. But first, let me get a drink. So professions have been a staple of World of Warcraft since its initial launch, and while there have been incremental updates over time, I wanted to do something a bit different in Dragonfly. I wanted to take the time to rethink them and figure out how to make them a part of the player's identity. At the player's choice, of course. First up, we're introducing something we're calling crafting orders. Crafting orders allow you to request for another player to craft something for you. Even if you don't have the skill or have the right profession to do it yourself, you'll be able to browse through any recipes that can be crafted. Pick the one you want for yourself, and then include some or all the reagents needed for the recipe, including ones only you can get your hands on. You can either find someone in person who craft right in front of you, or you can go to an NPC, which uses an auction house-like interface, and send the order out. That's kind of freaking cool. Can't hate on that. That's kind of unique. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You'll be able to specify if the order is open to the public for any crafter to pick up. Only send it to your guild or to a specific player you know who has the ability to craft the item for you. One of the other things worth noting, is that the item you have crafted can also be soulbound. In the past, the only way to get access to a crafted soulbound item was to have the profession yourself. Now anyone can have them crafted for them, which really expands on the number of items that we want to provide to anyone. So any profession item, none of them are really soulbound. So just remove the soulbound. If that's the case, just remove soulbound. But I'm assuming they won't because they don't want people to be making money off of some of this shit. Just remove soulbound, you dumbos. On profession items, not everything. There are some additional updates to note as well. The biggest is the introduction of quality to both your crafted items and gathered reagents. Quality is pretty straightforward. If you craft something that is higher quality, it's just going to be better. For pieces of gear, which may mean a higher item level. If it's a potion, it may be a more powerful effect at the higher quality. Crafting UI also introduces stats specifically for your profession, for both crafting and gathering. So I don't really get this, but I'll figure it out eventually. The biggest source of your ability is to craft items at higher quality is through crafting specs. While there have been specs in the past, in Dragonflight you'll be able to go out and earn spec points in multiple ways. You may find an old book in a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere. You could meet up with the hermit in a cave who could teach you more about the profession. In the end, you'll be able to choose as a blacksmith, for example, to become an armor smith, or you'll be able to put points in its skill to become better at crafting all armor. This opens opportunities for players within the same guild to spec in varying aspects of the profession to add to guild value. Okay. So it's kind of like alchemy, when we used to have potions, elixirs, and transmutation specs, I think it was called. For example, in engineers, we also had the goblin and gnome specs, so that's kind of cool, bringing that back. We'll also be adding crafting tables for all professions within the new city hub of Valdrakan. Great way for crafters to meet up in the city, or for other players to find a crafter if they want to meet face to face. Crafters will also be getting new types of gear for the professions, which you will automatically swap into when doing something like tapping a mining node. This gear won't need to take any space in your backpack, and will have special stats on them for when you add to getting better gear for profession. By specializing and honing your craft, you'll be able to build your own clientele and build your own your reputation for high quality items. How far can you take it is up to you. So that's actually kind of cool too, but again, there's not much information on the profession aspect just yet. They have an idea, that's what it seems like, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a neutral, because I don't know. We'll see what it's all about. But that's pretty much everything that was announced today for the Dragonfly expansion, which is overall, I'll give it a mid thumb up. I'm enjoying it. However, there was also something else announced, and it's great. It's fucking great. The return to the icy realm of Northrend in the World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic. It's coming, boys. Heroes of the Alliance and Horde fought against the evils of Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdom, against the demons of the Burning Legion of Outland, and against each other, unaware that an imminent threat was looming in the vast of the icy continent of Northrend. So, number one, when I first started playing World of Warcraft, it wasn't in Classic. I started playing in Burning Crusade. So when Classic came out, I was happy. I leveled up my Warlock. I got it to like level 35 and quit. Why? Taking too long. And I just decided to stop playing World of Warcraft at that time too, because live servers were sucking it. But anyways, I played Classic. I got to level 35 and quit. Burning Crusade Classic came out. I was like, you know what? I'll give it another chance. Let's go. And of course I had to play it because it's a freaking new game again. So, Burning Crusade Classic came out. I'm still leveling up my character. That Warlock that was level 35 is the same Warlock that I'm leveling up now. And this Warlock, I think he's like level 65. Funny enough, the same shit happened to me when Burning Crusade came out. I leveled up a character for the first time from level 1. And it took me all of the expansion to get it to level 70. Right before Wrath of the Lich King came out. So I didn't really do any of the Burning Crusade raids when they were live. I played during the release of Burning Crusade. I didn't do anything because it fucking took me forever to level up this character. So it looks like the same things happened again. The current Burning Crusade Classic, it's going to take me all expansion to level up this dude from 60 to 70. However, when Wrath of the Lich King came out, I put in all of my effort to leveling him up, and I was beasting in world top 5 guilds, from Naxxramas all the way to Wrath of the Lich King. Naxxramas, I was in a top 25 guild. We were 23. Gentlemen's Club, Korgath Tangs. What was after that? So that was Naxxramas, which included OS, I, and Vault. Next up, I believe, was Ulduar. We were a top 15 guild. We were number 11 in the same guild. After Ulduar was Trial of the Champions or Crusade, one of those. That one. Also Onyxia, Ruby Sanctum later on. All these raids were out there as well, but I'm talking about the main tier raids. So Trial, we were a top 5 guild. We were actually ranked 2nd in the US, banging it, and we were top 5 in the world as well. And then I switched guilds because that guild kind of broke up after that one because we freaking raided 7 nights a week from Nex all the way to Trial. And it broke up, but they kept the guild going on for 10-man. But I wanted more. So I switched servers. I joined Conviction. And, banged out freaking Wrath of the Lich King's main raid, Icecrown Citadel. So I'm looking forward to this. This was my expansion. This was my shit. So the Lich King Arthas Menethal sits in the ominous Icecrown Citadel, scheming to claim the world as his own. Plan that threatens all life on Azeroth. Heroes of the Alliance and Horde must stand against a malevolent being who dares to declare himself the one true Lich King of Azeroth. He seeks all life from the world. Ooh. We're gonna watch this later, by the way. Later this year, you'll again get to explore. Ooh, later this. Ooh. I gotta finish up my freaking Tauren Druid ASAP so I can get back to freaking Burning Crusade, so I can level up my Warlock. Only the most stalwart can challenge the Lich King and end his reign of terror in this re-release of the 2008 expansion. Just like it shook up WoW during the original release, Wrath of the Lich King Classic will thrill both veterans and newcomers with a host. Oh, I want to go back so much. The Grim Throws in the North. Heroes will begin their journey in one of the two zones, Bree and Tundra, Howling F-Shore. I will most likely be going Howling again. But I do prefer Borean, but I'll probably want to relive the experience I did before. And adventures through some of the most epic vistas and beloved storylines in World of Warcraft before breaching the seat of the Lich King's power in Icecrown. The Rise of the Death Knights, available to both factions starting at level 55. Death Knights, World of Warcraft's first hero class, aka champion class. Harness the power of the darkness to help combat the evil that threatens Azeroth. While Death Knights are limited to 1 per server and require level 55 character on that server to create, Wrath Classic will be bypassing that requirement for a player's first Death Knight. That's smart. I mean, we've done it before, so it's smart. New Professions Inscription. This new profession will allow... Oh yeah, it did come out in this expansion. Describe mystical glyphs and modify the properties of spells and abilities, cooldown, damages, etc., and craft powerful trinkets and offhand items. Achievements unlocked. Achievements are coming to WoW Classic, giving players new rewards for their exploits and accomplishments. Dungeons and raids. Relive seminal 5-player dungeons like Azul, Narub, and the Colonial Stratholme, and lay siege to Naxxramas in a 25 or 10-player raid, and update to its original iteration as a 40-player raid and pre-expansion for World of Warcraft. Included with existing World of Warcraft subscriptions, as with previous WoW Classic releases, anyone who subscribes to World of Warcraft can also play Wrath of the Lich King Classic at no additional cost, which makes sense. So that's freaking cool. Additionally, we want to provide a better experience for our new existing Classic players with the following changes. Level 70 boosts. Level cap will be increased to 80. Introducing level 70 boosts, so those who didn't play BC Classic but wish to play Wrath with their friends or explore Northrend can do so right away. Boosts will be available 1 per account, be used on any class except Death Knights, so I could just cheat it. But I have a level 65 Warlock, so I don't really want to use the level 70 boost on that. No Dungeon Finder. Players rediscovering Wrath of the Lich King Classic won't find the Dungeon Finder feature originally added in patch 2.3.5, but we've heard from the Classic community that the importance of social bonds is a big part of what makes Classic their game of choice, and we agree. Personal arena rating. Throughout Burning Crusade Classic, our PvP community has made it clear that they prefer the flexibility of rating being personal rather than tied to a fixed team, so they'll be removing arena teams in Wrath Classic. So, no Dungeon Finder. Does that mean the whole of Wrath of the Lich King Classic there will be no Dungeon Finder? Gear score coming back. Trade chat spam's coming back, boys. Personal arena rating? I mean, the same shit. I'd rather it be personal too. Barbershop improvements. In the years since the barbershop was first added to Wrath, World of Warcraft has added additional customization options, including some of the originally were only available as paid services. You're going to incorporate all of the improvements in Wrath Classic rather than reverting to the authentic 2008. Yeah, that makes sense that way. So yeah, that's cool. That's everything that was announced basically today. The new expansion, Wrath of the Lich King Classic coming out, all that good stuff. Later in this live stream that I am doing right now, we're going to go ahead and watch the hour-plus video that was going on this morning. And if there's anything else that I need to go ahead and watch, I will. Otherwise, we will be done. But I am going to be right back for those of you tuning in live. But for those of you tuning in right now, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was a fucking long-ass video, I'll tell you that much. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully, give you guys a little bit of a tune-in on what I think on what's going on. But yeah, next up, we're going to go ahead and start watching some vids.